Hello everyone, my name is Julhani Alam. So today's our topic is about ASEAN integration. So what is ASEAN integration? The ASEAN, or the Association of Southeast Asian Communication, is a regional organization that brings together disparate neighbors to address economic and security issues. But the group's impact remains limited. So the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or the ASEAN, there are the 10 members countries. So number 1 is the Brunei Darussalam. Number 2 is the Kingdom of Cambodia. Number 3 is the Republic of Indonesia. Number 4 is the Lao People's Democratic Republic. Number 5 is Malaysia. Number 6 is the Union of Myanmar. Number 7, the Republic of the Philippines. Number 8, the Republic of Singapore. Number 9 is the Kingdom of Thailand. And the last is the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. So the ASEAN was created as an organization in 1967 with the aim of helping to bring about the Southeast Asian region of peace, freedom, and prosperity for their peoples. So in ASEAN integration, there are aims and purposes. So number 1 is to accelerate the economic growth, social progress, and cultural development in the region through joint endeavors in the spirit of equality and partnership in order to strengthen the foundation for a prosperous and peaceful community of Southeast Asian nation. So, sa number 1 is ito yung pabilisin ang isang pag-unlad ng ekonomiya upang ito ay palakasin ang pundasyon para sa isang maunlad at mapayapang pamayanan ng isang bansa or ng mga bansa. Number 2, to promote regional peace and stability through abiding the respect for justice and the rule of law in the relationship among the countries of the region and adherence to principle of the United Nations Charter. And number 3 is to promote active collaboration and mutual assistance on the matters of common interest in the economic, social, cultural, technical, and scientific, and administrative fields. So, ito yung pagtutulungan sa mga usaping may karaniwang interes sa larangan ng isang ekonomiya, panlipunan na technical or scientifico at administratibo. And number 4 is to provide assistance to each other in the form of training and research facilities in the educational, professional, and technical and administrative spheres. And the number 5 is to collaborate more effectively for the greater utilization of their agriculture and industries, the expansion of their trade, including the study of the problem of international commodity trade, the improvement of their transportation and communication facilities, and the raising of living and standard of their people. So, sa number 5 is ito yung pagpapabuti sa kanilang mga pasilidad sa isang transportasyon at komunikasyon sa antas ng pamumuhay ng kanilang mga tao. So the number 6 is to promote Southeast Asian studies and to maintain close. And sa number 7 is to maintain close and beneficial cooperation with existing international and regional organizations with similar aims and purposes, and explore all avenues for even closer cooperation among themselves. So the next is ASEAN Fundamental Principles contained in the 1976 Treaty of Amity and Cooperation. So the number 1 is mutual respect for independence, sovereignty, equality, territorial integrity, national identity of all nations. So ito yung paggalang sa isa't isa para sa kalayaan o pagkapantay-pantay sa pagkakakilanlan ng mga bansa. And the number 2 is the right of every state to lead national existence free from external interference, subversion, and coercion. So, ito yung karapatan ng bawat estado sa pamumuhay ng kani-kanilang pambansa ng walang panghihimasok o pamimilit. Number 3 is non-interference in the internal affairs of another. Hindi pakikialaman ng isang bansa o panloob ang gawain ng isa't isa. So number 4 is settlement of differences by peaceful manner. Number 5, renunciation of the threat of use of force. And number 6 is effective cooperation among themselves. Number 7 is ASEAN historical events. So, ASEAN Community Blueprint, sa political security, may rule based on shared norms and values. So, may cohesive, peaceful, stable, resilient with shared responsibility. In economic, single market and production-based or competitive economic region. Equitable economic development. Sa socio-cultural, human development and social welfare and protection and social justice and human rights or environmental sustainability. So the next is on August 8, 1967. May occasion. First is convergence of 5 sea nations which are the Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand. Naheld ito sa Bangkok, Thailand. So, sa action is my establishment of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations or the ASEAN as a regional bloc. In 1976, 1976 Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in Southeast Asia or the TAC. Na action naman is adoption of fundamental principles governing ASEAN. In 1997, ASEAN's 30th anniversary. Na action, the signing of ASEAN Vision 2020, a shared vision of ASEAN as outward-looking, living in peace, banded together in partnership in dynamic development in a community of caring societies. In 2003 naman is an occasion is a 9th ASEAN Summit. So, ang action is state government leaders establish a common goal to turn the organization into one unified ASEAN community to be inaugurated in 2020. 2007, occasion is the 12th ASEAN Summit. So, the action is fast-tracking in the 2020 ASEAN integration to 2015. So, there's the pillars of ASEAN community. The ASEAN heads of state indicate the member states acknowledge that an integrated, stable, knowledgeable, and caring community will help ASEAN nation to strengthen their economic competitiveness and attractiveness to investors, in particular during economic downturn. So there's 3 pillars of ASEAN community. Number 1 is ASEAN Economic Community or the AEC. Number 2 is ASEAN Political Security Community or the APAC. Number 3 is ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community or the ASCC. So the first pillar, the ASEAN Economic Community is the ASEAN Economic Community is a blueprint, a vision toward integrating the ASEAN resource markets. This AEC primarily targets the creation of a single market and production base which allows the free flow of goods, services, investment, and skilled labor, and the free movement of capital across the region. And the second pillar and the second pillar The ASEAN Political Security Community, or the APAC, oversees the ASEAN community continues to live in peace, stability, resilience, and concord. Through the APAC, the member countries have established a rule-based community of mutually shared norms and values. All ASEAN member countries agree to rely exclusively on scholarly and peaceful process of settling intra-regional conflicts about matters of security and cultural differences. So, the APHC has the following components. So, there are 6 components. First is the political development. Number 2 is shaping and sharing development. Number 3, conflict prevention. Number 4 is conflict resolution. The next is post-conflict peace building. And the last is the implementing mechanism. And the last is the third pillar, or the ASEAN Sociocultural Community. Aims to promote caring and sharing society, which stems from the fact of all action undertaken by the ASEAN are to uplift the lives of its people and make living in the region a more fulfilling experience. Seeks to provide fair opportunities without prejudice to religion, race, gender, and cultural background. Also concerned with virtues of social justice, which is upheld by that addressing issues of poverty and equity. That's all. Thank you.